Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Mai, and guys, thank you so much for those friends who keep on watching, giving me likes, and subscribing, and of course, for those from YouTube channel, I'm quite overwhelmed. Thank you so much for those who have watched my videos, and of course for my friends on my FB page. Thank you very much as well. Those interested and those message I have received, thank you so much as well. And for some suggestions, you're still welcome. Let me know if you have some question and suggestions. And of course, from my Instagram friends, thank you as well. I appreciate that a lot. Right now, I'm back. I have been busy from from my videos with my kids, and I had a lot of fun with them. The supposed to be Tagalog conversation, but it turns out to be Taglish. So I had fun with my kids, and I'm so happy that they are very interested in doing the abacus. By the way, guys, I have not mentioned to you before from my previous videos that because I've been introducing to you the one-hand technique on this abacus um, skills or education. My kids are very lucky right now that instead of using one hand, I can also share with them my skill on how to use the two-hand technique using the abacus. But of course, with you guys, I can only help you with the one-hand technique to make it more easier for you to manipulate your abacus. So, well, this is a continuation from the last time, from the last video that I did, wherein I had discussed with you the direct addition and subtraction on the abacus. So this video is a continuation on how you can indirectly add with the use of the 5, and I will show you later on with some examples. And I think we should start right now. All right, guys. So if you remember, we can add numbers 1 through 9 or 10 to 90 or up to hundreds directly without borrowing from any bigger number. Okay? So right now, let me do some recap. Okay? This is how we add 1, add 2, add 6, less 5, less 2, add 7, and we have 9. So I have not borrowed from any bigger number. Okay? So let's take an example on the tens place. Let's say I have 49. I want to less 6. I want to add 51. I want to add 5. Take away 84. And my answer is 15. So that's another example on how you can add and subtract without borrowing. So those are direct movement or direct method. So right now, I'm going to give you or show you an example on how you can use indirect method with the use of 5. Okay, let me give you some question here. Let's make a small number first. I have a 12. I want to put in 12. All right. Add 2. I want to add 1. Guys, we don't have any lower beads left, if you notice, but I have a 5. 5, of course, is bigger than the one that we want to add, so let's use the 5. But that is too much by 4. That's how you add 1. You can either do the movement in 1, like this, how to add 1, or you can do, because you have to think, you have to borrow from the 5 and take away the 4. But you can do one movement like this. That's how you add 1. Okay? The answer is 15. All right. Let's have another one. Let's say for the tens place, I want to add I think we should have a Simple one. Okay. My pen is running out of my ink. So I have here 33. I want to add 11. 11 makes a 10 and a 1. Of course, we're always reading from left to right. And then I want to add 10. I want to add 10. On the tens place, there's also no more lower beads left. So we can use the 50. But of course, this is like the same thing as you add the 5, where you take away the 4 after adding the 5. So when you add the 10 here, you add the 50, but you have to take away the 40. That's how you add 10. My answer is 54. So that's how you add indirectly. I have one tricky question or example on add 1. Let's say that's the number. I want to put in 43. I want to add 11. How do I add 11? 10 is for you to add on the tens place, but there's no lower beads, so you have to use a 50 and take away the 40. And then the 1 of 11, just simply add the 1 directly. So you add the 10 here indirectly and you add the 1 here directly. And then let's add 21. This is also a tricky one. How do I add 21? 2 tens first on the tens place and then the 1. How do you add 1? You simply borrow from the 5. You add the 5 and take away the 4. And the answer is 75. Guys, as I do this, if you want to check my answer using calculator, you may do so. Alright, so that's how you add 1 using the 5 or the 50. Now let's tackle or let's show you on how to add 2 indirectly. Let's say I have here, okay, let's review how to add 2 directly first so you can relate it later on. When you add indirectly using the 2, you add 2, you add 2. Can I add 2 if I don't have any lower beads left? Of course not. So we can use the 5, but 5 is too much. You only need to add 2, right? So when you add the 2, it's too much by 3. You take away the 3. Or you simply do this movement. You add 5 and take away the too much, which is 3 in one movement. I hope you capture that, guys. So that's how you add 2. What if I have 3? I have lower bead left. Can I still add 2 using only 1? Of course not. So again, let's use the 5. So remember, whenever you use a 5, always remember how much is too much. So if you need to add the 2 here, but you only have 1 bead left, so you borrow from the 5 and take away the too much 3. That's how you add 2. Okay? Same goes with the 50. If you have 20, add 20 directly, but you don't have any lower beads left. So this is just a matter of place value. So you borrow from 50 and take away 30. That's how you add 20. If the number is like this, 30, and you want to add 20, of course you have lower bead left. But will that be enough for you to add 20? Of course not. So you add a 50 and take away 30, like this. That's how you do it. Now let's do some example. Alright, let's say I have here 4. I want to add 2 to that, and then I want to add 21. I have 4. I want to add 2. How do I add 2? We borrow the 5 and take away the 3. And then add 21. I want to add 20 and then 1. My answer is, if your answer is 27, that's correct. Let's have another example. I have here, I want the tens place. So let's say I have here 30. I want to add 24. and I have to add 12. This is a little bit tricky. Kindly watch carefully. So I have here 30. I want to add 24. So guys, can we add the 20 if I only have 110 left? Of course not. Let's use the 50. And remember to take away the too much. We're adding 24. We're adding the 21st of the 24. So we add the 20 and then we add 4. Then let's go to the last question. That is 12. How do I add 12? Add the 10 first and then the 2. How do I add 2 if I don't have lower bead left? So let's use the 5 and take away the too much. And the answer is, if your answer is 66, then that's correct. Alright guys, let's say we're done with add 1 and add 2. Now let's proceed on adding 3. So, how do we add 3? Let's take an example here on the abacus. I have here 3. I want to add 3 again. So that's how you added 3 directly. You don't need to borrow from anywhere. But of course, you want to add 3 again. But you only have 1 bead left, right? Let's use the 5. How do we add 3? We use the 5. If you have a 5 and you only need to add 3, that's too much by 2, okay? So, of course, you add the 5 and take away 2. You can do a 1 movement like this, okay? Let's say if I have here 4, I want to add 3. Well, no more lower beads left, even 1 bead, right? So, let's use add 5 and take away the 2 if you want to add 3 using the 5. In 1 movement, that can also be very good, okay? What about, let's talk about the tens place, okay? So, on tens place, same goes with the ones place. The only difference is that, of course, the place value. If you need to add 30, let's say you have here 30 or you have 30 like that, and you want to add 30 but you only have 10, of course, that's not too much. You can use the 50. And remember to take away the 20. That's how you add 30. And if you have, let's say, 40, you want to add 30, add the 50 and take away 20. And if you have 3 or 30, I think I gave you the example for that. So anyway, that's how you add 3 and add 30. Okay, let's take an example. Alright guys, let's do some example. I'm sorry for the pause. So we're doing add 3 now. Let's say I have here 4. I want to add 30 and I want to add 13. This is quite simple. I have a 4. I want to add 30 directly. So those are direct. But I want to add 13. 13 makes a 10 and 3. How do I add 3? You add the 5 and take away the 2. You can do 1 movement. Okay? So my answer is, if you are using calculator, you can check my answer from the abacus to your calculator. Let's have a tricky one. Let's have on the tens place, by the way. So let's say I have here so I have 21. I want to add 31. Can I add 30 if I only have 20 here? Of course not. So remember to add 30 like this. You add the 50 and take away 30 or 20, I'm sorry, and then add the 1 of 31. And then I want to add 13. Add the 10 first and then the 3. Oops, I only have 2. How do we add 3? We add the 5 and take away 2 in this movement. If your answer is 65, you got it right. Okay, so that's how you add 3 or 30 on this lesson using the 5 or the 50. I have one more lesson on how you can use the 5. This is how to add the 4. Of course, adding 4, I'm sure you have an idea now how to indirectly add the number 1 through 4 using the 5. Okay, so of course 4. Can you add 1 or 4 to one space? Of course not. No more lower beads, you use the 5. But when you add 4, how much is too much if you use the 5? Of course, it's too much by 1. Let's say you have 3 and you want to add 4. 1 is not enough, so you can use the 5. You add 5 and you take away the 1. That's how you add 4. And if you have 2 and you want to add 4 but you only have 2, use the 5 and take away 1. Okay, I have 1 here. I want to add 4. Will this be enough to add 4? Of course, no, it's not enough. So let's use the 5 and take away the 1 like this. That's how you add 4. Same goes with the 10th place. If you need to add, let's say 20, I want to add 40. I only have 20 left. So let's use a 50 and take away 10. That's how you add 40. But if you have 30 and you want to add 40, same thing, just add the 50 and take away 10. That's how you add 40. Okay, now let's do some examples so you can relate on how you can use them. Okay, so example for add 4 and add 40, that will be, alright, let's say I have 20. I want to add 12. And here, this is a bit tricky because I'm sure you have an idea how you can apply this now. And you want to add 44. So let's start with 20. I want to add 12. I want to add 44. Let's add 40 first of the 44. Can I add 40 here? Of course not. Let's use the 50 and take away 10. And let's add the 4 of the 44. 2 is not enough. So let's add the 5 and take away 1. And the answer is, if your answer is this, you get it right. Let's have another example. Let's say I have this is tricky. I combined other lesson, not just add 4. There's a not part of the add 4 or add 40 lesson. Let's say 24. Add 40. Of course, 40 is like this. Then add 12. How do I add 12? You add the 10 directly, but you add the 2 indirectly. How do we add 2? I don't have lower beads left. You use the 5 and take away 3. So if your answer is this, you got it right, 76. So the important thing here is that you observe the beads carefully. So I hope I had taught you something that is helpful when it comes to adding 1 up to 4, 10 up to 40. Using the upper beads. So that's actually the indirect on how you can add them. But this is just few. I still have to help you and teach you on how you can take them away using the 5, the value of the 5 and the value of the 50. But for now, if you need the questionnaires, I actually have some questionnaires here. Let me know so you can practice and apply those lessons. So for now, I'll just stop from here and I'll upload some more lesson, particularly for this indirect addition of the addition of 1 up to 4 by the use of 5. But of course, this is done for now. For the subtraction, I'll help you with my next video. Okay? So for now, again, guys, thank you so much for watching. and keep liking. And for those friends who might be interested, please help them subscribe. My FB page is and of course for my Instagram, that will be Melon112672, and for my YouTube channel, it's my Lorente. Thank you so much again, and keep watching. Have a great day.